Everyone, this is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. How everybody doing today? I'm out. It's a beautiful November day, middle of November. I can't believe it's like this. Look at short sleeve shirt, out riding horse. Here, let me show you. He out here enjoying the beautiful outside, not a concrete zoo. Anyway, normally I go live in the morning, but I wasn't able to this morning, and I decided I'd go live today. Like I say, right now, what better time to do it than on this wonderful ride? So anyway, let's just have a talk. Well, we all go on this ride together. Anyway, so I've been watching some videos on homeless people. Well, this one I'm watching, he's actually a homeless guy, and he travels through the mountains. I don't know, he must have got kicked out of some homeless area because he couldn't have his tent there. And now he walks around the mountains in different states and stuff. Got a YouTube channel. Boy, I tell you what, he's only got like 130 videos on there. He's almost got 50,000 subscribers already. Well, let's just say he's making money off YouTube, but he still understands homelessness. Anyway, he's got a lot of people that watch his channel, and you know, some homeless people aren't the dregs of society, you might say. Some people have just had it with society, and they, you know, they do well. Not, you know, that's what being a lone wolf and stuff. You know, being away from society and people is sometimes what some people, you know, they strive for in life. Like me, I live out here. Okay, I'm not homeless, but I live out here. I strive to stay away from people. Some people can make it being a lone wolf. That's not a problem. I mean, if I had tried to avoid people now, why the heck would I want to be around people when stuff gets crazy and people are all losing their minds? That'd be insanity, I think. Anyway, but you know, some of us are just designed different. That's the one thing. You wouldn't want me in your mag either. You know, I'm a loner. Not that I wouldn't come up to your mag and exchange goods and exchange stories, and then I go about my way. But anyway, just watching this one homeless guy. I can't remember his name, but he's got a good channel. Tell you what, there was one video where he carries bear spray when he walks through the mountains, right? Well, the safety came off his bear spray. Started going off in his pants. Oh my God, that would be terrible. He said it was anyway. But see, he's out in the middle of nowhere. He was still able to do it, cope with the problem. Anyway, but yeah, that'd be probably a necessity if you're walking the trails through the mountains, bear spray. But I'm just watching his channel. I'm enjoying it. Maybe next time I come, I'll be able to tell people what it is. But yeah, look at it out here. Isn't it beautiful? Do you hear a siren? Nope. Yeah, I'm riding by some power lines. But do you hear a lot of people? Do you hear traffic? All I hear is freedom. Freedom and silence. I tell you what, for November, the middle of November here, say we're only 3 hours from Denver. We should have cold weather and have had snow by now. A lot of times we get snow in October. Tell you what, I think the West might enjoy a dry, warm winter, which we don't need because we need moisture out here. We need moisture for the crops next year, and among other things. But anyway, oh yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. Here, let me switch the camera around here real quick. Oh. Yeah, this is me, Tom, the Hidden Truth. Out cowboying today. No, just out riding my beauty. Say on days like this, I can't sit in the house, especially when it's supposed to be winter time out. But we sure haven't had much of winter this year. Tell you what, if you like the content, please hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. Check out my other content. Share it if you like. It's not quite as easy going as this. It's political and stuff. So that's why I like coming on here and doing live streams where, you know, can just enjoy yourself with it and not sit there and make everybody upset with what they got to hear. Anyway, right here, I'm going to stop here a second. See that? I don't know if you can see that place out there. Basically, that place, middle cornfield. So, I tell you what. But this is like, when I watch other videos of what's going on in the world, and then I'm out here, right? I still leave it to Beaverland, Bonanza, ranching, cowboying, and small town values and stuff. I mean, small town. We have 2 towns in our county, and half our county's rural, and we have less than 2,000 people in this county. That tells you how isolated and desolated we are. But we are flyover country. Tell you what, next summer, Beauty and I are gonna hit the mountains ourselves. So go take a pack horse and her and go check out the mountains for a couple months before stuff really gets crazy, right? Or you people living in the big city think, well, shit, stuff's already gone nuts. You know, that's that show Survivor. You could have put me on that island. I'd have hid myself away and never left. You put me in the middle of a big city, I'm out of there. I'd have been the first one off the show. You know, I can't get lost out here. But then again, having skills and live without here is the perfect way. You know what true freedom is out here. A lot less stress. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos too about the conscious that's starting to wake up in this country. What I mean by that is people, I don't want to say isolating themselves, but they're starting to spend a lot more time by themselves because they find it more, the better time by themselves than with other people. What's the word I'm looking for? Far more fulfilling. You know, they're understanding, they're starting to, when they're not around everybody, they're really starting to look at themselves and finding the strength in themselves and finding out that peace and quiet is freedom. And then another video, that's one thing I preach. You know, people, you can't be a lone wolf. You can't be a lone wolf. You'll never survive. Whatever. You know, tell that to that last Japanese soldier that surrendered himself. What was that, 1973? 28 years after the war ended. Oh, no, I can't remember what. I think he was in the Philippines. I'm sure he was a lone wolf for 28 years. You can survive. Not a problem. Especially when you're out here. Nice thing about out here, too, is when people see that are losing their minds, there's no Starbucks and stuff. We don't have the conveniences of the modern world, a lot of them. We got to travel for them, but I tell you what, we sure got the freedom that the modern world doesn't feel. So, but anyway, and then another creator I was watching was talking about how there's something wrong with the human race these days. That humans, they're not normal. Humans aren't normal no more compared to what we would call normal. And I have said it, I believe that the Homo sapien is splitting into 2 species. It has to be. Where you got the ones that are, I guess, would say evolving into better mental faculties, and ones that are de-evolving into lower mental faculties. I mean, basically, some of them are starting to turn into Neanderthal. I mean, that's what I see. I mean, I've been on this earth for 58 years, and I tell you what, human beings these days are strange enough, but then the ones that sit there and try to dress them up to be strange, make themselves look strange. Woo! Anyway, Oh my God. Like I say, this is November what? What, November 18th today? 3 years ago here, there was a snowstorm and a half for a couple days and winter never ended. Not this year, like I say. I'm out here in a t-shirt, my Lone Wolf Prepper t-shirt. That's my other channel, Lone Wolf Prepper Lives. Riding my horse, riding my beauty on this beautiful day. Tell you what, when old man winter comes and hits us, he's gonna hit us hard. There's no way we can escape like this. Anyway, but we need the moisture. It's one thing out here out west. You people out east and like Minnesota where I was from, you don't know what dry is. Dry out here, when it gets dry, if your car blows a tire alongside the road, you can start a fire in the ditch just by your blowing a tire. And people say, that's crazy, there's no way. 2012, when it was dry as a bone out here, I mean, I didn't see rain for over 100 days, and it was 100 plus almost every day. But I was hauling a bale back home on my trailer to my horses, and the tire blew, and I pulled over on the road, and I saw smoke coming out of the bale, right? And my trailer's got a wood deck in it, and out here, the wheat fields, they harvest them in harvest wheat in July, so all the stubble fields. So I was in between two dry stubble fields with a bale that was about to start on fire. Dry ditches. So I got up to a place where there was two wheat fields that had just been planted with green wheat coming up, so I didn't have to worry about the field going up. And I sat there and parked in the middle of the gravel road and rolled that bale off that trailer and sat there for an hour and watched it burn. So, and then I went back and got another one. Anyway, after I fixed the tire, of course, but that's how dry it can get out here. Crazy dry. That's a wheat field there. See the green wheat? That's winter wheat. They do is here in Nebraska, they harvest it around the 4th of July. They want to be starting. And then they plant, usually after Labor Day, they start planting. And then it comes up like that. And then in the winter, it goes dormant. And then it comes back in the spring. And winter wheat, it's harder to grow, but it can be used for a lot more things. It's more versatile and stuff. It's a little bit more sought after than spring wheat and other type of wheats. But anyway, that's what you have out here in Nebraska in cornfields. Millet. So, like I say, I'm surrounded by food out here. I do not understand how we can have a food crisis in this country. I don't. I mean, I'm surrounded by livestock, crops, I mean, everything. And food is so expensive in this country. I mean, I just went to the store today. One bag with a 10 or 18 pack of pop, $37 or $38. $38. I mean, are you kidding me? But don't worry, everything's going down, right? I tell you what, when things go crazy in this country, you know who people are going to suffer the least? The homeless. I mean, during COVID, the homeless never got sick. They never had to get vaccinated or nothing like that, now did they? That was just for us dumb tax-paying schmucks. Anyway, but they're going to have a mate. You know, they're living it rough. The ones that aren't mentally unstable. Like I say, there's lots of homeless people out there that, living in your car. You're homeless. You sit there and work a 40-hour-a-week, 50-hour-a-week job, and you can't afford housing, so you buy a vehicle you can live in. Okay? That'd be homeless. What would be the difference of that or somebody who's walking through the mountains, sleeping in a tent at this spot to this spot? I tell you what, I should have got that guy's name, but he's got an awesome channel. Like I say, that bear spray went off in his pocket. And like I say, this guy he hikes through those mountains, and but whatever. It's the way he chooses to live. Living without modern conveniences is not always a bad thing. Some people thrive at that, like me. I got my horse, my dog. Everything I have, I own. Nobody else owns it. No bank or nothing, no finance company. Tell you what, being financially free, being debt free. Debt free in today's world, where all you have is living expenses. Okay, between your rent, your food, car insurance, cell phone bill, and your food. I mean, when you can live for under $1,500 a month on all that, you're doing pretty good. You're not a financial slave. You ain't got to make $200 a day to scrape by. And when I hear people are making $5,000, $6,000 a month in these cities and can't even afford to live, out here, $5,000, $6,000 a year is a very high-paying job. Okay, we don't have those real high-paying jobs out here, but we don't have that high cost of living either, and we don't got the crime. I watch Angry Prepper. He's a good channel, firefighter out of New York City. And he said, like all the time, out of 75% of his videos, you always got a siren going by his apartment. God, I haven't heard a siren out here. And let's see. To be honest with you, I moved back to Nebraska January 1st or December 31st of 2022, and I haven't heard a siren in Nebraska since. So I'll take that over having a big fat check every day, every week, any day. Anyway, and my beauty. Hey, there's that wheat field. That all used to be, when I first moved out to the farm here in Nebraska in 2010. And what I did is I lived here for 8 years and I moved back up to Minnesota. But anyway, and I came back because this is the only place I felt like home since I've been out of service. But this whole square mile here used to be CRP ground, which is basically a wildlife refuge, basically. And somebody bought it and ruined it. There used to be deer out there that were ginormous. I saw a deer one time. Well, this was after they took over, before they chased all the animals away, but they had a wheat field out there and the wheat was pretty tall. Anyway, I saw this buck walking through the wheat field on its knees. No kidding. It was walking on its knees so it wouldn't have to stand up and be seen. But that one was a huge one. That was like a 10-pointer, and that disappeared the first year they had that place of hunting season. I knew he was going to be gone. So, anyway, there's some pasture. All these trees they got here is for the pheasant and stuff, for the wildlife. So, she wants to go. Now we're going to walk a little bit more today, sweetie. I got to get her shoed. I've been riding her too much and her hooves are starting to round up, so I need to get her shoed. That's why I usually have two rideable horses, because one just isn't enough. But my other rideable horse, he's retired now. At my age, I don't know if I really want to get another horse. Last thing I'd want to do is die and, burden other people with my animals. Then again, lots of people want to buy this horse here. I've been offered thousands and thousands of dollars for her. If I took a worthless green piece of paper for her, no, never happened. That's my beauty. Always wanted a black beauty, and I got one. Even know how ornery this mare can get. The thing is, when she's in there with Kiowa rules with an iron thumb. That's her retired gelding, right? Usually a mare takes over, but he don't allow it. And she is just something else sometimes. Well, when you got her in the mountains by yourself, and she's away from Kiowa and stuff, she's the most perfect thing. People come up to me, oh, that horse is so great. Yeah, sweetie, I'm talking about you. Anyway, but like I say, living the life. Say when you're debt free, you can set your work schedule when you own your own business. And what I mean by that, is, yeah, I got a business and it, I only got to make as much money as necessary. And if you're in a business that nobody wants to do, like the tree business, money's good, but I don't want to sit there and make too damn much because you get punished for making money. I've been middle class before, paid the taxes up the ass. Phone never stopped ringing because people want money from you and stuff. It's like the middle class has a special call directory where everybody gets your damn number. Screw that shit. Some people are happier with, poor, less financial means, I'll say. Okay, some people like to be humble with less financial means. Besides, all you do is got money. You got somebody else that thinks they get to sit there, line their pocket with it because you're doing better. Not happening. Okay? It's too much life to live. Chasing that almighty piece of shit dollar bill is the thing I want to spend the least amount of time on. All right? It's much more enjoyable. Doing a live stream on YouTube. God, I just can't believe this weather. It's supposed to be like this the rest of the week. Last week was even better. Last week it almost got in the 80s. So, crazy times, people. Sure, they blame it on global warming. But then again, I remember winters when I was a kid were hard winters. And then that was up in Minnesota. And then we had a couple winters in the row there, like 98, 99, 2000 were so warm that around Christmas time, people were still walking around in shorts. And people were saying, the stores are hurt because nobody realizes it's Christmas. Anyway. So, yeah, I live a couple miles up this road, this field path. But, yeah, this is what flyover country people looks like, people. This is where politicians, if they came here, they wouldn't be welcomed anyway. But there's not enough of us to matter. Small population pockets, we're not really represented in government. For one thing, not enough of us good ones from us conservative country folk want to get into politics, but who would want to go to Washington, D.C. anyway? I had to go there for a while as a Marine. The last thing I'd want to do is have to go there to work. I can't even imagine what it's like now. The only thing I liked about D.C. was the Smithsonian's. That was something else. I liked them a lot. That was back in, when did I go there? 89 I was there. I liked the Smithsonian's. I went to the Air and Space Smithsonian for 2.5 days. That was a cool one. So, anyway, and then the natural history one, I think that was when they had the mammoth out front. They had the Hope Diamond there and stuff. It's kind of cool. Or was that? I can't remember. I don't know how many. Is there 6 Smithsonian? There's the art one, the space one, the natural science one. There's just a bunch of them. I can't remember anymore. It's been a while. But it's the only good thing I found in D.C. Too much money there. Too much corruption. Can't even imagine what it looks like now. Anyway. Here, she wants to get going a little bit. No, sweetie, you're not running. Tell you what, horse can trot forever. You only run them when you have to. The horse can trot forever. We were out on the ranch. We'd sit there and trailer the horses for, I don't know, 20 miles. We'd still have 7 or 8 miles we had to go before we got to the cows. Trotting the whole way. Haney on his little mare. That little thing could just scoot, and boogie. You couldn't run your horse. Tell you what, a ramrod that taught me how to be a cowboy on the ranch, Pathfinder Ranch in Wyoming. Guy named Haney Stevenson. Tell you what, you're a cowboy that was trained or a horse that was trained by Haney Stevenson, you were doing pretty good. So, anyway, good stuff the old-fashioned way. Not like moving horses, cows on horses, but now they don't. These ranchers don't do this anymore. You know how hard it is to teach somebody to ride a horse. A lot easier and safer to teach them how to ride a four-wheeler. But that doesn't still mean they know how to herd cows. You get a good cow horse, like go out to a rancher with her. If I had to bring in a sick cow, go out to the herd, find a sick cow, follow the sick cow for about 10 feet. She would lock on to what cow it was, and I could sit there and sit back. It don't care if it was 2 miles from the barn. She'd take it back there by herself. It's a good cow horse. Let's hold on. Okay, there. That was just somebody calling me. Yep. Anyway, horse can trot for miles. Miles and miles and miles. My retired gelding that I got, I tell you what, he's the fastest trotter I've ever seen. I bet you that horse was doing 20 miles an hour. He'd stretch those front legs out in front of him, and I don't care what kind of horse you had, they couldn't keep up with his trot. I bet you I could have done, well, I could do 12 miles an hour on him easily. Like with her, when we go riding, we do, I don't know, up to 10 miles an hour. So you can travel a lot of ground with a horse. You just gotta know how to ride them. You gotta know how to expand their energy. So anyway, look at this. Middle of November. Like I say, surrounded by food, right? Hold up, Steve. Still a cornfield. You know, this is the middle of November. It's been like this for now almost a month. There shouldn't be corn out in this field no more. I'm not understanding. This ain't the only cornfield still sitting here. I'm not understanding why they're keeping this food. Because look at it. Slow it. The ears are starting to fall off the stalks. The wind blows, knocks them off. Like I say, this is America, people. This is America. Food wasted in the fields. Over in eastern Nebraska, my brother told me they were done with corn harvest almost 3 weeks ago. It's just like around here, out in the panhandle, and they had a bumper crop this year. This is dryland corn. And for Nebraska, dryland corn, a lot of times you got to bale it because it doesn't produce anything. But this stuff is crazy. It's still sitting out in the field. I just, you know, when I lived here before, harvest time, these guys went nonstop. Lines at the elevator, didn't have none of that this year, even through wheat harvest. So, anyway, there's another wheat field. This wheat ain't looking so good, unless it got planted a little later. You know, usually they try to get wheat planted started after Labor Day, but we had such a wet September that these guys weren't planted until October. Thank God we had a dry time. Give the wheat some time to come up. So, anyway, yeah, just out for a ride. Hey, if you like content, please hit that thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. Anything to help this channel grow. Like I say, I do a lot of political stuff. But I'm just out here having a good time today, trying to enjoy it before the calm before the storm. Oh, here. It was so dry this spring that some of the wheat fields, this was one that didn't get harvested because the wheat was so light. And then it's like the corn was starting to die, and we got rain right at the last minute. Didn't save the wheat, but the corn crop came great. See, now this was a wheat field that was harvested. You know, this wheat that's growing is volunteer wheat. That's the wheat that gets kicked out of the back end of the combine. They didn't look like they had that one set pretty good, did they? A lot of money sitting in the field growing there again. Anyway, horses like it. Beauty's like, let's go. I want to go running. Well, sweetie, I got to get your shoes first. All we've been doing for the last couple, 2-3 weeks. Running. Ride 8 miles and I only walked a half a mile. All the rest of it was trotting and running. But then again, I like my horses that way. Very energetic. I'm not one who likes walking. That's so fucking boring. Like when you're out there collecting cows, you'd sit there and collect them, and you get all hot and sweaty. The horse would be sweating, and this is middle of winter, right? And you get them all formed up, and then you stretch them out and start moving them. Because out there at that ranch, we moved them like a regular cattle drive. And there'd be icicles hanging off Ricky's nose. I was freezing my ass off. I tell you what, you ride a horse hard, you sweat just as bad as they do. So, anyway, there's my place up there. Probably can't see it. Okay, sweetie. Riding horses can be dangerous, especially when they go down forward on you. I had one do that for once on me. I think he did it on purpose. Then he stepped on my neck standing up, and that's when I passed out. So I've had, from riding horse and getting thrown, I've had concussions, broken ribs. Hasn't killed me yet, though. God dang it. Drive those trucks through here when it's all muddy. Anyway, the field coming up here. This was a sunflower. I just harvested that a couple weeks ago. But that was sunflowers. So everything did good. I just don't understand why we still have corn in the fields. I'm not understanding that with you're not seeing no action at all. It's like nobody has a combine or something. So, long for the ride. Hold up, sweetie. I don't like running her through stuff where she can screw up an ankle. Get through once here. Okay, sweetie. I need to get some videos taken, but I need some help. Good side views of running with her and stuff. Yeah, she enjoys getting out. Hi, old silver away! Oh, the days of the West. That would have been cool, huh? I miss Billy the Kid. Time that he had. That's good, sweetie. So anyway, this is how I like spending beautiful winter days. I should say late fall days. Here's my place. Shot up there. Take a trip through the grove. God, I can't believe it is November 18th. This is beyond crazy, people. This is beyond crazy. Like you say, it's nice having a mild winter, but it's also not good. Here's my place. Woo! Yeah, just seen this place when I moved in here less than a year ago. It was a mess. It was a mess. Like, all this, I've mowed all that. Next year I'll make sure I spray it so I don't have weeds in the grove, but this is part of the horse's pasture. Oh. But yeah, the weeds back there, I still got to mow them. This was a mess. This was 4 foot tall weeds all the way out to where that fence line was. Anyway. Oh yeah, 4 foot weeds everywhere, including in my yard. You know what it took to get green grass in my yard this year? Boy, if I went to stop watering it in the middle of October, I'd still be mowing my grass out here. But I got a nice green lawn. Like I say, nothing but 4 foot weeds, people. 4 foot weeds. Here's another cornfield that isn't harvested. Like I say, I'm not understanding this. But yeah, this is all 4 foot weeds. You can go back to some of my old videos and you could see what it used to look like 10 months ago. It was a mess. It was a mess. Please, people drive by here now and they all slow down to see what all happened. There's my Kiowa. He's my retired gelding. We're not going over there yet. We gotta go say hi to Valentine in Columbus. My chicken coop. Built that thing 10 years ago, still standing. Here's my camper. Yeah, mowed all of this. This used to be Weed City. Yeah, here's my camper. I need to close that thing up. Hang out there sometimes. I used to live in it for a year and a half. There's no reason to get rid of it though. But yeah, sat there and mowed all this. When I first moved here back in 2010, from the road like there to the property here, you couldn't walk through it, let alone see through it. It was beyond crazy, people. Beyond crazy. All right. Here's my Valentine and my Columbus. Valentine's on the right, Columbus on the left. Shit sucks. Valentine died of heartworm and Columbus got hit by a car. Anyway, 2 things that sucked this year that happened. But anyway, I got to buy a nice tree and stuff. I got a lot of videos of my dogs on there. I just got my Zaya left now, but you know, that's the thing about owning pets. Bad things can happen. So, there. That car was wrecked. Oh God, was that 2009? My landlord let his buddy drive. And let's just say Bill was a little intoxicated. Look at that car. And he walked away from it. Walked away from it. Destroyed the car. Boy, Wendell never borrowed none of his stuff out again, but Bill was his business partner and best friend. So, anyway, yeah. Yeah, it's been out here. I took the motor out of this thing because he had another car just like it, but the motor went bad. I took the motor out of it, this thing, and put it in that other car, right? Start that motor up, and it was knocking like you wouldn't believe. And I took it for a drive. I said, it's either going to blow up or it's gonna sit there and get better. Took it for about a couple mile drive, came back as silent as can be. Window put another 350,000 miles on that car, and then still sold it. So obviously those motors can take a punishment. There's my wood pile. I mean, I got dead wood in the grove, but I want to get that thing as big as a damn house. I'll make sure I got wood, because I've been burning wood out of this grove for 10 years now, so pretty much used it all up. Anyway, there's Kiowa. Kiowa. There's a feeder I made for him. Saves on feed, plus keeps it cleaner. That stuff's old stuff that they're just getting away on. But yeah, big round like that costs $100. Feed your horses for these 2 horses for about 3.5 weeks. That's pretty good. People always say, you spend all that money on feeding your horse. My horses are my hobby plus my buddies. You know, I don't have a problem spending, a couple $100 between grain and hay on them during the winter time. I think that's just fine. Anyway. Well, we're getting to the end of our little ride here. Yeah, let me get off her. Anyway, I appreciate everybody being here, going on that ride with me. And like I say, hit the subscribe, the thumbs up, and the bell notification, and help support the channel. And maybe I'll do a few more of these rides. Anyway, everybody have a great evening. This is Tom with Hidden Truths. I'm out of here.